Continuing our coverage tonight after the passing of Greenville native and civil rights icon, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
According to his family, Jackson died peacefully at home yesterday, surrounded by loved ones. We have team coverage tonight as Black History Month is celebrated at the White House, the president taking time to remember Reverend Jackson.
But first, at Furman University, some students are just now discovering who Reverend Jackson was and that he came from the city they call home. Ramaya Payton has more about the conversations that are unfolding on campus.
Well, the news of Reverend Jackson went far beyond the headlines and into the classrooms at Furman University. A group of students started researching his life, his ties to Greenville, and his ties to the university itself. For some Furman students, the name Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. was not a part of their conversations until now.
The professor had us look into his life and his legacy, and I did not know who he was before doing so.
Lexia Giannopoulos is one of the few in her class that knew Jackson's story.
Hearing that he passed away, especially at a time like this where we're really at a pivotal point of history, I think is very difficult for a lot of people to grasp.
For this group, it was a class assignment that opened their eyes to Jackson's legacy.
It was really interesting to learn about how he was kind of like a protege of MLK. I just thought that was really impactful, especially seeing someone come from the Greenville community. I think it's cool to see someone just have such a national impact. We kind of got to deep dive like the national reaction as well.
Alex Black was shocked to learn that Jackson is from the very city they call home.
I expect Greenville to do a lot more with him. I think they will now that he's passed. But the fact that there isn't more showing that he came from Greenville.
And he's even more struck by another connection that runs deeper.
Something that really stood out to me was that he went to the same high school as Joseph Vaughn, actually. Joseph Vaughn is the person who broke the color barrier here at Furman. And the fact that those two went to school together, I thought was a really weird and really cool coincidence.
He did apply to Furman prior to Joseph Vaughn, actually, and he was denied because of our segregation laws at the time. And then many years later, back in 2013, he actually came and spoke to campus to over 800 people. So I think it's a really powerful story of resilience.
And as their conversations continue, history is being passed along.
I think that we also have so much to learn from so many people that have come before us, and I hope that him passing away, while it is very sad, I hope that now we'll be able to investigate a little bit more into what he's done and the frameworks that he's left behind.
The group told me that they hope that others will take this opportunity to learn more about Jackson's life of service and then share it with someone they know. In the newsroom, Ramaya Payton reporting.